For this install, we got a Metro dash kit. And for the head unit, we got an Alpine ILX-W650. Lastly, we have a Radio Pro 4 so we can retain the steering wheel controls. First up, we're going to go ahead and get all the wires plugged in for the Radio Pro 4. Alright, so got everything connected to the module. I went ahead and used some heat shrink, cap off any of the wires I'm not going to use. These ones for analog navigation output and OEM camera power. Last thing we got to do is just connect the rest of these wires to the Alpine harness. So here's all the wires we'll have to connect. We'll have to go ahead and strip down this harness that was provided by Alpine and just match up the wires and solder them together. Next up, we're going to go and strip the installation on the wires off the Alpine harness. Then we're going to add some heat shrink and solder butt connectors. And to get a good connection on the wires, I fan them out and then feed them together like two hands coming together. Then I pinch and twist the wires at the same time. And I continuously pinch and twist in opposite directions. And as you can see, this makes a really good, solid connection. Alright, so here's the Alpine harness. I went ahead and matched up the wires, used these solder butt connectors, put a little extra insulation on top of them just in case any of them short. They have a bit more protection. So yeah, pretty easy. Just got to line up the colors with the corresponding color. Alright, so taking out the stock radio is pretty easy. We're just going to take out this trim piece, and to do that we're just going to use a plastic trim tool so we don't scratch up any of the pieces. Alright, next up, there's two 10mm bolts on each side, 4 total, and then the radio should be able to slide out. And there's going to be a few clips in the back. We just got to pull those out, and then the radio will be free. So on the bottom of the clips, all you got to do is just press these in, and then be able to pull them out. And on these connectors, there's just a little tab you push down, it'll pull out. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and get the dash kit onto the new head unit. Next up, we're going to take off these bolts from the stock radio, and they're 8mm. All right, next I'm going to go ahead and place the new head unit into the new bezel, and then we'll see where we need to bolt these side brackets in. Now we'll just go ahead and line up these holes and see where they line up to the new head unit. And for now, I'm not going to tighten them down all the way. I'm going to see if I might need to adjust it a little bit once it's in the car. So I went ahead and test fit it in the car with the new bezel, and about halfway on the adjustment is just about perfect for this car. All right, next we're going to go ahead and get these clips onto the new bezel. All right, next up, let's go ahead and get the Alpine harness plugged in. Okay, got the main harness in. We're going to go ahead and get this in for the remote for the steering wheel controls. We're going to go ahead and get the mic plugged in right here. And we're also going to get the USB plugged into the back here. For the backup camera harness, I'm not going to be installing this because I'm not installing a backup camera, but I'm going to leave that disconnected for now. All right, now that everything's plugged in, let's go ahead and go to the car, get this bolted in, and get this side of the harness plugged into the OEM harness. We're also going to pop off this panel and replace one of these blank spaces with the USB. And to take out one of these blank spaces, I'm just going to press on these two tabs right here. And you'll be able to pop it out. For the USB wire, go ahead and just fish it down there, as far down as you can get it. Then you can pull it out right here. All right, lastly, we're going to go ahead and plug this replacement USB into there. Next up, go ahead and just connect all the harnesses. All right, next up, let's go ahead and route the microphone. I went ahead and got one of these grabby tools. Not really sure exactly what they're called, but I'm going to use this to route this down into the dash. All right, so pretty much I just use this tool to pull it out. Probably use like a coat hanger or something. But I'm just gonna run it along under here, up this seam, across the headliner, and I'm probably gonna put it right here next to the mirror. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick test to make sure it works. All right, radio works. All right, let's go ahead and see if the Apple Play works. All right. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and bolt in the 4 bolts that hold in the brackets. All right, next up, we're just gonna go ahead and put these panels back. Here's the Metra dash. All right, next up, we're just gonna go ahead and put these panels back. All right, well, that's the head unit all installed. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. All right, see you in the next one. Peace.